All right, everybody, welcome. Here with the attorney extraordinaire, real estate specialist, Mr. Jeff Breglio. We're here at the Salt Lake Business Podcast. So this is my second episode here.
Episode 2, good.
Yeah, episode 2. So we got the beta version. I had a nice microphone set up and everything, but they don't really work with the phone. So
right.
Well, for the version 2.0. But cool, if you want to give everybody kind of an intro as to who you are, your origin story, what kind of business you have here in Salt Lake.
Okay, my name is Jeff Breglio. By education, I'm an attorney. So that's really my business is as an attorney. Although I wouldn't classify myself as a standard attorney that you would normally go to. I've always been heavily involved in real estate. I was a real estate investor not long before, but really before I was even practicing law. So I was in an industry already, and then when I started practicing law, I actually was doing entertainment work, working for some film producers kind of on the side while doing the real estate. Mm-hmm. So the law practice was always sort of a side gig for me. And I had a huge interest in film and knew some filmmakers locally, and so I was helping them produce films and doing the legal work for the filmmaking. But then just as real estate sort of grew, I realized a lot of legal needs for real estate investors. So I just started crafting my practice to provide the needs for real estate investors. And over time I just found that a much better fit, a much better niche, and really, really enjoyed it. It's an industry that I love and I've always been involved in. So as a practicing lawyer, I pretty much do asset protection. So a lot of business entity formation and structuring that allows business owners, particularly business owners with assets, regardless of what kinds of assets those might be. It could be real estate, it could be equipment, or inventory, or other things that businesses have. And so we set up these business entities to help run the business and protect the assets that the businesses have. And do a lot of real estate transactional kind of work. Just helping clients buy and sell properties. So that's kind of how I got started. Really enjoy it, mostly because I like working with the people that I work with. I think if you really enjoy who you're working with, it's almost better than it makes what you're doing more enjoyable. Mm-hmm. I can't say that creating an LLC is the most exciting thing in the world to me, but helping clients build their businesses and protect their assets and get things done and move forward is really fun and really exciting. And I work with clients that I have very, very long-term relationships with, that I've known for 20 years and watched them grow their businesses. So that's really kind of the main driver of my work, is just helping others build their business.
Sure. And then so take us back to when did you start this business? What year was that?
Probably 1999, 1999, right around 2000. I can't remember which year it exactly was, but right around 2000, I had my own law practice.
So tell me the story here. Where you graduated college and you started the business right away, or did you ever contemplate working for somebody else?
No, I never really did. I graduated college and went to law school. Graduated from law school. And then I was teaching. I was actually teaching at a local university, and I was teaching and coaching in a high school. During law school, I actually taught and coached track and cross country at a high school in sort of secondary ed, and really, really enjoyed teaching. So I sort of just evolved into teaching at a university, and I kind of considered that my day job originally, even though it's not full time. It's quite flexible.
But you were making all your money, right. Your income was coming from that.
From real estate, really. It was kind of a combination of real estate with doing this teaching gig for a local university that was sort of consistent throughout the year, but it gave me a lot of extra free time. Mm-hmm. And so in that free time, I was doing the real estate investing. Also, teachers don't make anything. They just don't make a lot of money. So I had some monthly income, which was nice, and I was doing flipping and picking up some rental properties on the side to supplement my income. And then started, got my law degree, got licensed. It took me a few years before I actually started to practice. And clients of friends that were doing movies, local movies, needed legal work. And since I knew them and I was an attorney, I just started doing their legal work, their film production work. which was setting up their business entities, very similar to what I do now in contracts kind of stuff. So it kind of fit in with everything, but I started practicing law simply because I was asked to. People that I knew
found a need.
Yeah, the people that I knew needed work done, so I sort of learned the ropes and started doing the work that they needed, which brought in, again, some more income, along with the real estate and the teaching. But eventually, everything went towards real estate, and I kept going with the real estate investing, and then just drove my practice into real estate, since that's what I enjoyed and that's where I was at.
Mm-hmm. And what was the inception point where you're doing some teaching, you're doing some flips, you have some income coming in. Was it always like stable income? Were you always like, was there ever a time where you're like scraping for money where you didn't know if you were gonna make it or not, playing literally month to month?
Yeah, it's always like that. It's still like that. I mean, it's not as, you sort of, being self-employed is always this.
Yeah.
It just always is. That's one of the things you have to learn. You have to be comfortable with and accept. If you like knowing that every month you're making X dollars, then working for yourself is not the right gig for you. Because it's never going to be that way. There's really great times and there are lean times, and but over time, it just all goes up.
Right.
So sort of your baseline average continues to increase if you really are motivated to build the business and keep it growing and stuff like that, which I'd say the first 10 years, I didn't really focus on building the business. I was more focused on just providing the work that clients needed, and letting sort of word of mouth doing my kind of own investment, doing it my own way. It was really about 10 years ago that I really focused on, sort of how do you build a business? How do you grow a business? What marketing do you need to do? How do you do the outreach? What kind of products? How do you, sort of not just like, hi, I'm a lawyer, I can do some work for you, but really focusing on the business side. And I would say these days, 50% of my time is all strictly business side of things. Marketing, promotions, changing, systems and processes and things that we're doing just to make it easier for clients to get what they need.
Sure. So I know you said it's always up and down, and just the baseline goes up. But is there, from like starting 20 years ago, when was it maybe to like you got your law practice? How long did it take where you're like, I know there's ups and downs, peaks and valleys, but when were you like, okay, I have a decent amount in the savings account, like I can weather a few storms and my life's not going to be over.
Right.
When did that end? Or did it ever end?
I would say, because there were times when I focused more on the business. You also, because in real estate, I can make a lot of money just sort of doing that. So the focus of being a lawyer and having a law firm wasn't the priority. I was doing legal work because I could, and it did bring me income, but the real estate was the vast majority of my work. I would say I was probably a good 8 to 10 years in before I felt like the legal work had enough, that I had enough experience, that I had enough sort of products, enough things to be able to provide that it could be a real full-time actual practice. I think in the first 10 years I was just nervous of trying to build, like getting rid of everything else just to focus on building the business, not knowing whether that business would take off, right? So I was kind of doing lots of things, just keeping the money going, and so that I always had money to pay the bills and the mortgage and stuff like that. So the real estate, a little bit of teaching on the side, some legal work. In real estate, I was a real estate agent, so I could help friends buy houses, and I would do some retail closings, which brought in some extra money. So I was sort of doing all these different things, and then realized that the one cohesive force was the real estate and real estate investing. And it was about 8 to 10 years in that I said, what, I could really build a law practice focused on providing products and services to real estate investors. I knew the industry, I knew the people, I was already well connected. I was already doing some work for them, but then I just sort of, okay, I'm going to focus on building this business. And I stopped, I didn't stop, but I sort of scaled back everything else. I stopped teaching, scaled back the real estate investing to focus on the business. But it's been great. And now now the business is up and running, and it took probably 3 to 5 years, I would say, to really get to a smooth place. Where, even if I didn't do marketing for a few months, there was still plenty of income coming in. Right. It was more self-generating. It took about 3 to 5 years for it to really be self-generating enough to kind of keep a baseline.
The referral business.
The referral business, yeah. The first 3 to 5 years, I was
hunting.
Every client, every gig.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Always gonna go out.
Yeah. So that was I would say a good 4 to 5 years of hunting. And then you build up enough, and then the word of mouth sort of begins to trickle in. And then, maybe 3 or 4 years later, now I'm more kind of a brand.
Yeah. In
the community. I'm now established and well known, and so my marketing now is sort of beyond the local community where I'm already established and kind of reaching further out.
So are you only based out of Utah, or are you doing other states?
I can work in just about all. I can do what I do in almost all states.
But do you have any clients in other states?
I do have clients outside of Utah, Texas, California, Arizona, Maryland, DC area, New York. Most of these people came through referrals because they knew somebody here, and they're in real estate investing, so they're real estate investors elsewhere that happen to know local people. And they're like, hey, we got a local lawyer who can do a lot of this. So these are all referral sources coming outside the state.
And then give us an idea of what's the size of your business, how many employees you have, what's kind of like your revenue streams coming in, what does that look like for you?
Currently, it's just me and Andrea. So one staff right now. I've had up to 6. Because I had an idea that I would build a broader real estate practice, offer different, more like a law firm, where certain lawyers do certain areas of law. And so, but I decided that I didn't really want that kind of business. I wanted a business that was much more streamlined, less management of people, much more automated with systems, which increases my hourly much greater than bringing on staff.
Yeah.
Because to bring on lawyers that can do another practice area, you have to pay them. They're highly compensated employees. And they need oversight in my time just to be able to kind of build their own practice. Whereas if I focus on sort of my clients and the products that we do, where I can have the discussions as an attorney, but then Andrew can do the fulfillment part, it's a whole lot more efficient, and I save a lot of time to focus on some other projects rather than trying to build a more traditional law firm. It's sort of the lean and mean approach. You'd be very, we're limiting very much what we do to sort of our core products.
Right, you're
doing
the
profit margins.
The typical highest and best use.
Yeah,
right?
It's the 80-20 rule. In business, if you heard familiar with that,
yep.
Where 80% of your income comes from 20% of your products or 20% of your clients, and then the other 80% of your time and work only brings you that 20%, that last 20%. And in the early days, you need that 20%, because your margins are also small and your total income so low that 20% is sort of the gravy that gets you, going out to dinner once a month.
Right.
So you pick up you do all that extra stuff, and I'm at a point now where I don't want to do that other stuff. Stick on that 20% that earns me 80, and then that other 80% of my time, I can do other projects and other things that have the same sort of 20-80 return. And so that's kind of where I'm going. I decided it was easier for the strictly law practice, to stay very product oriented, where it's really just, I'm selling products, to be honest. It's what I do. So I don't do as much legal consultations and advice and litigations and problems and these other kinds of things that most lawyers do. I just now provide entities and trust and documents, and there you have it.
Right. As far as like income streams, do you have like hard money lending, flips, the lawyer? What do you have there?
Yeah.
What does that look like? Rental
Technically,
portfolio?
I've got passive holdings. sort of passive personal holdings or real estate holdings that I kind of do through one arm. I have retirement growth and holdings. So in my real estate investment world, some of it's owned personally with just in sort of my name through entities and that I use my cash and just like anyone else would go buy their rental property.
Sure.
Then I have retirement accounts that I've built up also in real estate. So about, I'd say on my net worth side, about half of it's held personally and about half of it's held in retirement accounts. So I've grown a lot of my wealth in tax deferred or tax free structures like 401ks and IRAs. So I've utilized those really well. So I built some there. And so those are my passive holdings. They're in long-term investments like rental properties, or I've done some business investing where I invest in some startup businesses. Those are pretty much just sort of grow and hold. Let them just ride out and then one day I'll retire on them. On the more active business side, I have the law practice. I am a private lender, so I loan money to other investors to do deals. So I'm like kind of a bank. I have real estate education, which is REI Mastery U, where I educate other real estate investors into different techniques in real estate investing. And then I do some coaching and consulting in real estate. So those are currently the four sort of income streams that I have. So when the law firm got sort of efficient and scaled, that freed up the time to build the lending, to build the education, and to build sort of the coaching side. So right now I have those four income streams.
Awesome. And then,
which is key in self-employment. And I think that's what I learned early on. It's like, okay, I was doing retail sales really as a real estate agent for friends here and there, which brought some money. I was teaching, which brought some money. I was practicing law, which brought some money. I did a flip here. So being self-employed, you sort of learn that sometimes you need multiple income streams because they're all like this.
Yeah, so hopefully the goal is just to balance
them
out.
The goal is to balance
so
out.
One's not doing great, the other one's picking up slow.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess that's why everyone focuses on, I guess, a rental portfolio, because it's a consistent income, if you will. If your water heater furnace doesn't go out that month,
right?
I guess that is the goal. So if you don't mind talking about numbers, what were you doing last year in terms of gross revenue, and then what are you shooting for this year with all those?
Last year we did about 650 or 700. Probably this year is stay the same. And actually last year was close to stay the same as well. But I worked a lot less. So last year the goal was to get the law firm efficient and scaled, which we did, to build up the education arm, which I did. So I freed up the time, built these these other income streams, but I didn't lose any revenue. Which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Because when you go to that 80-turn, you start, essentially turning down work. In the law practice, I started, saying, no, I don't do this, referring to other lawyers that this person can help you, kind of thing. I'm going crap and giving away money. I could have done that and made money, but I wanted the time to build these. And they built up enough to kind of compensate for that already. So we kind of held even, and I think this year I'm probably the same, is holding even this year as far as gross revenues. Profit margins would be better to maybe build systems and processes and be more efficient, bring down costs a little bit, which is something I'm really looking at this year, is just sort of just costs, and see where we can make more money just by saving costs this year. But focusing on building these other income streams, the marketing and the sales aspect, so that they now can grow to where the law firm is at.
Sure.
And get to their 80-20, so where that I've got maybe 5 businesses all at 20% of my time, but they're all making 80% income. So instead of 100% income, I'm now at 350% income.
That's awesome. So I've seen you on social media go to all these, along with Matt Atkinson, go to all these Tony Robbins events.
Yeah, he's so great.
Yeah. So is I guess give me like the biggest takeaways from that, and how has it impacted you operating your business and maybe focusing more on I want my free time versus growing these companies?
I think the biggest takeaway that spent about 2 years now in different Tony Robbins programs, certain live events. I was in his coaching program, so I had actually a personal coach, one-on-one coach, so we met with twice a month for a little over a year. The biggest takeaways first is, and this is what he really, really teaches, is getting clear on what you want. You know, you may think you know what you want, you may think you know you're in the business you're in, but maybe you're really not. And he calls it getting clarity, getting clear, getting in peak state is his terminology. And lots of coaches have different ways to get you there, but it's really just discovering what it is that really drives you, what really makes you happy, what you really, really want, like really, really want. Not just, hey, I want better income, I want more, I want a bigger house, I want more vacation. I mean, yes, but I mean, what do you really, really want in life to make you satisfied and fulfilled? And you know, what is it? And when you get to that place where you kind of see that, then you're like, why am I doing all this other stuff? You know, and that's what we did a lot for. Like, I mean, I hated all that other stuff, but like, it's money. I mean, don't turn down clients, but it's not what I want to do. I can do it, it makes me money, but it's just not what I want to do.
Right.
And so you focus on what you want to do, and suddenly what you want to do becomes even bigger and better, and you're happier doing it, and you eliminate all the fluff and the crap, and now you freed up all your time, like, oh my gosh, now I got free time, I can do this, which I've always wanted to do, you know? So I think getting clear about what you really want. He has some really good systems and processes, like step by step, like, okay, now that I know what I want, how do I get from here to there? He's got a number of different programs, you know, depending on what it is and how you're going to get there.
Have you been to his Business Mastery?
I have.
How was that? That's 5 days?
It's 5 days. It's fantastic.
Is it more analytical stuff? Because I went to Unleash the Power Within, and that was I'm more of a Keith Cunningham guy than I am a Tony Robbins guy. So like Keith's like numbers, processes, you know, that's where I'm at. Tony's more like get up, let's go.
Unleash the Power and Date with Destiny are definitely focused on individual growth and potential. You as a person. Mm-hmm. You can take it to business, and he does bring in some business aspects and things that he's done, but it's about you. It's about you, making you the best you. Business Mastery is more like that. There's a lot of getting a peak state, finding what you want, getting clear on how you work with employees or how you work with clients, and so there is a lot of that sort of personal growth in it, but it's a lot of business stuff. It is some accounting and some bookkeeping and finance, kind of CFO finance kind of stuff, and some numbers and how to grow and how to take certain things and grow little things in little ways, but the cumulative effect is much larger. And so there's a lot more, I would say, business practical information at the Business Mastery than at Unleash the Power or Date with Destiny.
Okay. And then what's your biggest takeaways from that? Like what, after going with, I guess, Date with Destiny, Unleash the Power or Business Mastery, what are the biggest things that you take away from that and implemented almost immediately into the business?
I would say getting in peak state, getting in a position where you're always sort of intently focused on what you're doing so that you're really good at it, you're really efficient and fast at it. Relationships with other employees and really realizing, is this employee right? Maybe a great person, but is this person right for the job? And getting right people in the right place, I think, was an immediate takeaway.
What do you do to get in peak state?
I have a vision board, and I have my moves. So Tony's problems is always make your move. So this is my move.
Before every business call, are you making your move?
No, usually in the mornings. It's part of my morning routine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't necessarily do it, recurring during the day. But when I wake up, I'll take a quick look at my vision board and
go over the morning routine. What time what are you waking up? Give me that whole.
I usually wake up about 6:30. I usually have an iced coffee to get my day going. I'll take a look at the vision board. It's pretty big, and you go through this a day with Destiny builds quite a large, interactive kind of vision board. And so I'll just focus on one thing that day, and just kind of reread one line or something, and go through some mantras, sort of repetitive, I'm a great lawyer, whatever it happens to be your focus on that day. And then, make your move, kind of jump up and down, get the heart rate going, and get kind of really just kind of pumped. And then I usually go work out. Work out for an hour, come back, shower. Usually in the shower I do the same thing.
Yeah.
20 minutes in the shower. Just to kind of, I've been going on morning, but now I've got to get to work. So I kind of just do them again. And then I just come to work. I do my reading like at night and stuff. So my mornings are more like get up and get energized. And then my nights are more, okay, let's relax and let's read some books and things of that nature.
Yeah, decompress.
Decompress, yeah.
What does an average day look like? What time do you get in the office, and then what time do you leave?
10 to 3.
10 to 3?
Yeah.
Every day?
Every day.
So what happens after 3? Are you shut off? It's me
Nope.
time?
It's me. It's definitely me time.
What happens after 3? Take me through that journey.
So after 3, I will then usually start. Either I will just take the day off. I'll go shopping. I will go home and watch a movie. Usually not. I'm usually not watching movies at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm usually getting other things done. What I'm usually doing is again working these other businesses. So here at the office and like appointments are only Monday through Thursday from 10 to 3.
So 10 to 3 is all legal stuff.
Pretty much legal and legal work, legal office, legal, yeah.
And then 3 on is all your
sometimes there's
side
like
hustles, if you will.
9 o'clock, I may do a Facebook Live. That's when I'll do for my Facebook Lives at 9 a.m. Or some of the other marketing or other projects. If I'm doing a loan, I might run the numbers to see if I'm gonna do that loan. So 9 to 10 and then 3 to 5 will be these other kind of side businesses or some marketing. But if I have nothing, then I will run errands or shop or do what I need, go running again, or maybe go to work or something, exercise, or play the piano, which I've started doing again because I freed up the time. I've written 3 novels, so I may pick out the computer and just start writing a novel again. So those times are very unstructured, whatever I feel like doing. And it's been amazing.
Creative time.
Yeah, I used to be in here at 8 and work until 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And it's not fun.
Burn yourself out.
Yeah. And again, there was that 80% of my time. So that from 8 to 10, and then there was all the things that I didn't want to be doing that weren't really making me any money. I'm like, I'm done. And I think the only problem is just gave me the courage. I mean, because everyone kind of knows that. I think everyone knows that I don't like doing this. I don't want to be doing that.
People want permission.
Yeah, it's almost like I want permission to say no. No, just say no. If you don't like this, you don't like it.
Yeah.
So just say no. And I didn't just immediately just wake up and say, okay, I'm never doing any of these things again. Because I have clients that I, of course, love working with, and when they call for certain things, I will continue to do them. But over this last year, 90% of that extra stuff is just, I don't do it anymore. And I'm a tremendously different person.
No, that's important. It brings a lot of negative aspects to your life if you're constantly doing things that you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
And also, I want to think, like, looking to the future too. If you're spending all your time on things you actually care about, you're passionate about, how much better are you going to be at those aspects?
things.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if it's a service-based business, like you're actually caring about this. The customer, the client on the other end is going to receive a tenfold. Than if you're just doing it for the money or because you can.
Yeah. No, exactly. And they always say love what you do and it's not work. It's very true.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of work. I think you can't take that. Oh well, I love it, so therefore it'll be easy. It's not that it's easy. It's just that you enjoy what you're doing. So the time goes quicker, and you feel like you're accomplishing things, and you feel like you're adding value to either someone else's life. You're providing something. You're getting satisfaction from it that you before you weren't. So no.
So what advice would you give someone, a new business owner, or maybe someone in year 1, 2, for them to, succeed, not stress out?
Focus on marketing. I think I waited. I should have started marketing much earlier than I did. Lawyers are weird in the sense that and I think this has changed. And when I went to school, you were trained to be a lawyer, then you went out and you got a job at a firm. The firm trained you the rest of the way, and you just did what you were told. And you never worried about getting work. You just went to a firm, they brought in all the work. You just that you were an employee. No one teaches lawyers that you actually have to go sell yourself and sell things, and it's a sales gig. To be on your own, you have to sell yourself. There's no other way around it. And you can't just build a website and expect people to come, right? You just can't have a great product and expect people to buy it or a service. You have to go find them. You have to tell them what you can do and what you can provide. You have to tell them how it's going to benefit their life. You have to establish the relationships with them so that they're comfortable buying from you. So that was stepping outside my comfort zone. I wasn't really good at, hey, I can build this LLC for you, and it's so much better than going online and doing it or whatever. Because I just assumed, oh, I'm a lawyer. If you need me, just call me. But that's not the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go out and tell people what I can do for them and how I can do it, and how I can save them money or make them money, and how it's beneficial to them. So I would say, don't underestimate the importance of marketing and sales, of being a salesperson, because that's not my natural personality. I don't like selling things and getting people to buy things.
Sure.
But if you want to sell something, you've got to sell it.
Right. As an attorney right now, you have some products that you're selling. You also do your online Mastery University.
Mm-hmm.
What top marketing channels are working for you right now that you see?
The marketing channel, I would say, one-on-one networking at events in industries that are related to my business.
Are you hosting these events or these events?
Both. I do my own events where I invite people in, and I go to other people's events where I know potential clients will be.
Which one is working best for you? If you could pick one, have your own events or go to other people's, which one would you take?
I would probably take other people's events because that's bringing in new clients. My events are usually designed to sell something new or different to existing clients, because obviously to invite them, I have to know them.
Right.
And that's why I do both, is because I go to the other events because I'm going to meet new people who don't know me, don't know what I can provide. So that's why I bring in the new clients. And then to continue marketing and selling to my current clients, I offer them other reasons to come in, other events or educational programs, so I just sort of keep in touch with them. I'm always kind of on the back of their mind, so that when they do need something else, they remember me.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Is there any other last words you want to say to the Salt Lake community out there, business owners, people?
If you enjoy it and you believe in it, you'll make it work. And if it's not working, it's just because maybe you don't believe in it or you don't like it. If it's something you really enjoy and you're like, I know this, you'll find a way. So you may have your own answer already. If it's not working and you're not happy with it, it may not be what's right for you. And it's about getting clear, and again, it's not something you can just do. It's not like sitting down and saying, do I really like this? And and that's the process Tony Robbins goes through. And he takes you through, before you even make those decisions, you've already been sitting there for 3 or 4 days. So your body, your mind, the things you're thinking about things completely differently, simply because you're in a room where you're being taught things and you're thinking about things differently. Because he's talking about other things. He's teaching you sort of stuff, and you're thinking about all these other great things, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, now let's think about me and my business and what I want. But you're in a different place. Mentally and physically, you're in a different place. And so you're thinking about those things differently. And when you learn how to do that, you can get to that point. But that's a big point to get to. And I think most people need coaching or mentors. And I would say that would be my last bit of advice, is find a mentor or coach or somebody that's doing what you're doing, but they're further ahead. Find those people.
Yeah,
find those people and
that's been super beneficial.
Copy them, ride their coattails, say, I will work for free. Find somebody who's accomplished what you want to accomplish and then replicate. Mm-hmm. You can put your own spin on it, but the whole reinvent the wheel, I'm gonna do this my way, that doesn't work. No. You can put your own, your own brand on something, but if someone found something that works, go copy it. Learn from them. And let them guide you, because you'll waste. I think I tried to reinvent the wheel more than I probably should have. And I literally, the whole business model now, I'm modeling over other people. Like I know other people who do what I do. I'm like, no. So instead of like worrying and stressing about how I was going to accomplish things, I'm just copying what other people are doing, other successful people. That's a whole lot easier.
Yeah, very good. I do the same thing. Does it work? Okay, awesome.
Awesome, great.
Well, great. Well, it was awesome having you on here.
No,
if
thanks.
the people wanted to reach out to you, where can they find you? Instagram, Facebook?
You can go to Facebook and just search Facebook for REI Mastery U. That's the letter U for university. REIMasteryU.com or 801-560-2180 here at the office.
Awesome. You got a LinkedIn at all? You got Instagram?
Breglio Law Office is on LinkedIn. Instagram, we don't do much on Instagram. Or, yeah.
Gotta get the young kids going.
Gotta get the young kids, yeah. And it was just that most of the stuff I do is just, it takes more than a few characters.
Sure.
So, but yeah, we do actually have an Instagram account. I just don't want to use it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Facebook has been pretty good. Facebook, I think, is going to be the next sort of broader marketing advertising that I do. Newspapers, that kind of stuff isn't worth it, but Facebook can be so targeted. It's so easy to find like the exact person you want.
Yeah.
It's a little creepy.
Yeah. Are you over 45, male,
live
live in this zip code?
Yeah, this income and other like, oh,
perfect.
Cow.
Yeah. Well, great.
And that likes real estate topics because you click on real estate things. They know everything about you.
Yeah. Well, it was a pleasure having you on,
Thank you.
and then I'll see you in next week or 2 weeks from now at the luncheon.
At the luncheon,
So
yeah.
awesome. Well, it was a
On
pleasure.
apartments.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Thanks. Later, everybody.